Hello everyone, how's it going, and welcome back to more vanilla WoW stories. I am writing on my Orc Hunter on my first ever mount in honor of the last video I did with the vanilla WoW mounts. And I was like, you know what? Let's ride that mount to our next destination of vanilla WoW stories, which is the first ever battleground I did. I saw some people suggest battlegrounds, and I was like, that's actually not a bad story. Now, this isn't like, oh man, I just, decided to queue up for this battleground, and then it happened. No, there were no battlegrounds when I started playing. And so because of that, I just was part of the Tar and Mill, and, what's the other one? Crossroads. Tar and Mill and Crossroads. In fact, I can just ride to Crossroads to honor some of that Crossroads nostalgia. Because I do remember some Crossroads PvP stuff. Maybe I'll do a Tar and Mill one. I don't remember that much on Tar and Mill, so I don't know if I'll do a Tar and Mill one. But, so yeah, first ever started playing. There were no things called battlegrounds in the game. It was just you went out and you PvP'd in the world, and that was that. So everybody would have to make their own PvP fun. And I remember there were honorable kills, dishonorable kills, and you'd get them. And I don't even think they had the honor system in. It was just like, you got an honorable kill. Congratulations. Like, it didn't even mean anything. You just PvP'd for the sake of PvPing. Which, obviously, when the game first comes out and stuff like that's going on, it's like really fun. You're like, whoa, this is crazy. We're just fighting to fight. And then when you get a little more into it, you're like, okay, what's the incentive here? It's like, obviously some people are just like, just the fun of the game, man. Just PvP and having, some fun with your buds, hanging out, just chilling and fighting the other faction. But Blizzard was like, all right, we're going to add in some incentives, the honor system, all this stuff. And after doing that, they're like, what if we put in these things called battlegrounds? And the first two battlegrounds ever were Warsong Gulch and I think Alterac Valley? I think it was Alterac Valley. I know Warsong Gulch was first, though. That's the main thing. And Arathi Basin wasn't till a little bit later, in fact. So I remember Arathi Basin coming into the game, and it was a few patches down the line. But Warsong Gulch was the first ever battleground. And so here we are at the Crossroads. Hold on, I'm going to find that specific place I know this event happened at. Unless it got destroyed by the Cataclysm, but I'm pretty sure a small mountain outside Crossroads isn't going to get destroyed by the Cataclysm. Let's see. Here's Crossroads. If you're Alliance, you're probably like, oh man, the Crossroads, I haven't been here in forever. And if you're Horde, you're like, ah yes, this place again. Because you go here on like every alt you make, because this is like the second stop you make on your leveling process. Here it is. So, when I was on this character, back in Vanilla WoW, I was about level, I think like 15 to 20. I was in that range. And I remember a giant battle happening right in this area. Like, a giant battle. Like, so many people. It was lagging my old shitty E-machine computer. And I remember I ran up on top of this mountain. And I was just like watching it. And I was like, oh my god. And then I wasn't getting hit because I was on a PvE realm. So if you did want to participate, you had to enable PvP. And I remember my friends came, and they were just like, oh my god, this is crazy, we're fighting. And everyone's fighting, it's like, do. And obviously some people were much higher level, like there was over level 30s, which like back then you're like, I'm only level 15, you're level 30s and 40s here, this is madness. And we were like, all right, we're gonna kill someone. All right, let's go. And we picked out some guy. I think he was like level 20. And we were like, all right, we can take him. We can take him. So we all just kind of like ran around. And then we were just like, ah. And we all just started firing at him. And he was just like, ah. And he started running away. And then we all got killed by various other people. And then we kept respawning. And then we kept dying. And that was that. And it was really fun. So that's not even related to the battleground. But I guess it kind of is because it's like pre-battlegrounds. So yeah, we did that there. And then Tarn Mill was obviously another one. South Shore Tarn Mill. But when they first put in Warsong Gulch, it was like, oh man, a battleground. Capture the flag. 10 on 10. They're like, you got to go to the what is it, Ashenvale and Barrens border where they meet. And we're like, okay. So you didn't just pop open your insta-queue and be like, queue me up for battleground, please, game. Thank you. You had to ride. And if you didn't have a mount, you had to run, which most people didn't at the time. You had to run all the way up over here to where the Warsong Gulch entrance is. I think a lot of people that play the game probably don't even know where the Warsong Gulch entrance is. They probably just know, like, oh, it's a battleground, right? But there's an actual entrance to it. And I'm about to show you it. Because I think it was Burning Crusade where they started doing battleground queues, where you just queue up for a battleground and you get into it. It's actually a good question. When did the battleground queuing system start? Because I think that was before, like, LFG or any of that. Because that was Wrath. I'm pretty sure it started in, like, Burning Crusade. Maybe even the end of Vanilla WoW? I'm not positive. Either way, so you rode, you ran, you did whatever you had to do to go up here to Warsong Gulch. We're getting closer. This Barrens is always one of my most nostalgic places because it's like I said, you always level through the Barrens on like all your characters, if you're Horde at least. And here we go. So here's one of the old ass buildings right here. As you can see, we got a Winnicky Bolt Bucket and Brogor. I don't even know if he used to be here or not, but this building did because it's an old vanilla WoW Horde building, just like the old Orgrimmar, which I miss them nostalgically. I kind of miss them just in general. Like the new one, like they're crazy with all the metal and garrosh and like, rah, but there's just something that's like humble and wholesome about the old Orgrimmar Horde orc buildings, you know. Then we ride over here, and here's another one. This is just a farm, though, a boar farm. And then you'll be like, oh, whoa, some Horde banners over there. And then if you keep going, you hit Ashenvale right up there. But you're like, oh, boy, let's climb up here. Obviously, it didn't play this new Cataclysm orc music. And all these dudes are chopping lumber. They're just like, yo, we're chopping lumber is the thing. Here's Smokywood Pastures guy. Warsong Supply Officer. What's he sell again? Oh, yeah, so you could buy some stuff. I don't think this used to be... Actually, it might have used to be. I think when they first came out with it, they're like, yeah, you play it and you get stuff. So I think a lot of this stuff is actually like vanilla era. No easy task to protect the Horde's lumber gathering efforts here at Ashenvale, but we have never sheed? We have never sheed from battle? Wait, what is sheed? Is that a word? Is that a real word? Wow, it is. I learned a word today, and you probably did too. So it's kind of like shy away. Sheed away from battle. The Night Elves and their allies will fall. Alright. And then you'd go up to Gagrok, or Gargok, and you'd talk to him. And he'd be like, hey, you want a queue for Warsong Gulch, but you also didn't have all these other battlegrounds to queue up for. And then you would pop in. Or, you could also, I think, run into here and it would queue you. I believe, yeah, Blinky used to be able to just run into the portal and it would, like, pop a queue thing on it. And then you'd play Warsong Gulch. And one of my favorite Warsong Gulch stories was I knew this mage dude, and he was trying to get High Warlord. And he was just always on. And I remember I would talk to him. Sometimes he'd play Battlegrounds with, like, some of me and my friends and just be like, yeah, dude, like, my life sucks, but, like, I'm gonna get High Warlord. And, like, looking back on it, like, I didn't think any of it. I was like, oh, man, this guy's probably, like, depressed or, like, working a shitty job or, like, just something like that. I was just like, oh, that's cool. Let's play Battleground. So I'm like, what? I'm like 14, 15. And eventually, he got to High Warlord, and I was like, oh, my God, congrats, dude. And he was like, yeah, it's awesome. His name was, like, Cyrix or Cyrax. Something like that. It started with a C and ended with an X. It was like Cyrax. And he was a mage, and I remember just playing Warsong Gulch Battlegrounds with him, and it was always like realm side, so you would only play with people on your realm, Horde and Alliance, and so you'd always play against a lot of the same people, and so you'd be like, oh shit, this guy again, and that made it really fun. And I wish Blizzard would do something like that again with realm like PvP and realm, because it created this community feeling, and you'd be like, oh man, yeah, I'm playing against like Cyrax again. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get him, and you just form these little rivalries or friendships with other people, and it was great. I love that. And so anyway, to continue the story, we ended up that was it. He ended up getting High Warlord, and then he just disappeared. And I don't know if he quit WoW. I don't know if he died. I don't know. But you know what? He achieved his dream. And that's something. I think it was his dream. He achieved one of his dreams, which was to get High Warlord. And so that's the happy ending here. That's all the ending we need. So that was my Vanilla WoW story, Warsong Gulch, and PvP and Battleground stuff. And yeah, if you want to check out more, I got one on my first mount that I have right here, and I got one on what's in my Vanilla WoW characters bank, where I just go through all my Vanilla WoW character bank stuff. I'll put those links at the end of the video. And yeah, thank you for watching and listening. Yeah. Okay. See ya.